Alright, what is up, guys? Action Figure Addict 112 here, and welcome to the first Skull Asylum sit down of this year. So, this is something I want to bring back just in case, Ayanda and I are able to record a certain day or a certain Sunday because, either I'm busy or something happened on my end or something happened on his end and we're not able to record, I can sit down and do these and put these up as Skull Asylum sit downs. Um, and that's what I used to do. I used to sit down with other collectors and we would um, do these live. I think is what we used to do. Either that or I used to record them and I put them up. But then I stopped doing that, and I took that idea and evolved it into doing the podcast that Ayanda and I try to do every Sunday. But anyway, yeah. So for this one, I want to talk about how I think that the Overwatch Ultimates line that Hasbro started and gave up on was their biggest fuck up that they've done so far. And, me saying that this might have been their biggest fuck up they've done is slightly controversial because a lot of people could say, the G.I. Joe Classified series could have been their biggest fuck up, or the Star Wars Black series could have been their biggest fuck up, or whatever. It could be more than one line that they've done that could have been their biggest fuck up. But for me, I personally think that the Overwatch Ultimates line was Hasbro's biggest fuck up because this line had so much potential, and had Hasbro gotten the right team on board with this shit, this could have been something great. And what I mean by that is that this line could have been our, go-to line when, Figma puts out, Overwatch characters, but either they raise the price or the ones that we wanted to get, which were older releases, are, more expensive. Because, for some reason, Genji goes for a lot on the secondary market, and I cannot understand it. Like on eBay, he goes for a lot. You can't even find him on Amazon. I luckily got mine off of Macari. I think the seller wanted like 70, or I think he wanted 67, and I offered him 61, I think. And he took the offer, and it was free shipping. And so, yeah. He came in a couple of days and everything was great. Like all the joints are still tight and he comes with everything. The only thing the seller said was that all the packaging, like the plastic kind of coverings they put on the figures that Figma puts on their figures when they in their factory before they ship them out, to protect the figure from paint and rub, all of those were gone, but everything else is really tight. And I'm gonna sit down and do a review of this guy, either this weekend or try to do it next week. But anyway, yeah, this line could have been the kind of secondary source for us for, getting our favorite Overwatch characters, because I mean, it seems like with Figma, each Overwatch release seems to be getting more and more expensive. And I don't understand this because this seems to be a trend that Bandai's doing with their Figuarts, Figma, or Max Factory is doing with their Figma line. With Revoltech, or Kyoto's doing with the Revoltech line, and what Medicom is doing with their Mafex line. I mean, what is it? Their Superman they just put out was like $90, and then this, I think either Infinity War or Endgame Doctor Strange is like almost $120. I was like, And I sat down last Sunday and we were talking about this, and I went into the currency converter and I plugged in the yen price to USD that they were asking for on Amazon Japan, what Medicom was asking for, and I was like, "Are you fucking serious? Almost $120, and then you take into shipping and shit. That's almost $130." Like, or no, not even that. And then the shipping was like 30 something dollars. I was like, no, you can go fuck yourself, Mayfex, for that shit. Yeah, Medicom, you can go fuck yourself with those prices, because there's no reason an import figure should be costing more than $60. I'm sorry. Like, 60 should be the limit. It's not, oh, 60 is the minimum and then we go up from there. Like, no, that's not how that goes. When you have a figure line and you're trying to sell characters from this line, from whatever franchise it is, you keep those figures at the same price as everyone else. So I don't understand why, why the price is slowly going up, because if I remember right, in terms of the Figma line, Tracer was like 50, I'm pretty sure. Genji was like 50. Um, Reaper was like, I think 60. He might have been 60. I think Widowmaker was 60. And then for some reason, Diva was fucking $80. And then, or maybe she might have been 70. She might have been 70 or 80 when she first came out. And then Mercy went for like $80. Farah went for like, or no, I'm sorry, no. Farah went for 80. Mercy went for $110. I was like, are you fucking serious? $110 for Mercy. Mercy. Like, what is so special about Mercy that she's $110? Like, the fucking 2-pack with her and Farah was, I think, $40 or $50 when it first came out, and I got it for like 10. I'm pretty sure I got it for $20 or $10 at Walmart on clearance. And I was like, yeah, there's nothing really special about Mercy that requires her to be $110 on release. Like, yeah, you get 2 different sets of wings, one where they're closed up and then one where they're open, so you can get her in her Guardian Angel kind of pose, where the light's kind of coming down from the sky, where it's, yeah, and then she like reaches her hand out. Yeah, like, is she coming with that fucking God ray that's coming from the sky? No, she's not. So why is she 110? Like, I don't understand. So, yeah, I don't understand why these import companies are starting to raise their prices. I don't get it. But anyway, we're getting off track. We're not talking about import figures. Allende and I, and even myself, just by myself, I can talk a whole, like, couple hours about that shit. But I want to talk about why I think Hasbro's Overwatch Ultimates line was their biggest fuck up. So, right off the bat, when they showed Mercy, I was really impressed with what I was seeing, and it was the unpainted prototype. So they hadn't put paint on it, I don't think. Or they might have actually painted it, and I wasn't sure what the articulation was going to be like. Until I started seeing more images, and I was like, oh, okay, these don't look too bad. And so this was the same time that Lego had gotten the Overwatch line, and Hasbro had gotten the Overwatch line, and they did Nerf guns for Overwatch, and they did like costumes and shit for Overwatch, and they did the figures. And with the first wave, they gave us Tracer, Sombra, Gabriel Reyes version of Reaper, but he was called Reaper, which I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. I think he might have actually been called Gabriel Reyes. I'll have to check. I'm pretty sure he was, because if he was called Reaper on the box, then that's fucking stupid, because that's not even. This is like Gabriel Reyes is like pre-Reaper. Like this is just when he had just joined Blackwatch, and for some reason, um, they would put that on there. That wouldn't make any fucking sense. Let me see. He was called Blackwatch Reyes. That's what he was called. I'm pretty sure that's what he was called on the box. I'm pretty sure, but I'm gonna check real quick just to make sure that that's the case. Because if it literally said, let me see. Yeah, for some reason it says Reaper on the box. Technically, yes, it's Reaper, but this is the Gabriel Reyes Blackwatch skin, so why the fuck would it say Reaper on there? It's just like whatever team was working on this just didn't give a fuck about what this was called. Because the people that know about the Overwatch lore, like not these like fanboys of Overwatch, but like the people that are interested, like Stratton and myself and several others that are interested in the lore of Overwatch and know about the characters and the backstories behind the characters and the character designs and all that stuff that are interested in that. We know that Gabriel Reyes is, Gabriel Reyes. Like, this is Blackwatch Gabriel Reyes. This is before he turns on Blackwatch and becomes Reaper, and then he works for Talon. So I don't know why the fuck they put Reaper on the box. So anyway, yeah, it was Gabriel Reyes. It was Tracer. It was what is his name? Lucio, Sombra, and I think that was everyone. So it was like 4 characters, I'm pretty sure, and they wanted $20 each for them. And then the 2 packs were 50, and that was you had Reaper, or I'm sorry, not Reaper. You had Soldier 76 and Ana. You had Mercy and Farah, and I think that might have been it. That might have been the two packs that they did for Wave 1. And so it wasn't bad for their first wave, you know what I mean? My issue is that the engineering on some of the figures was shit. Like Ana, she's a sniper in the game. She was the sniper for Blackwatch, and they thought she was killed by Widowmaker because her and Widowmaker got into kind of a sniper battle, and Widowmaker shot and it clocked her right in the eye, and so she lost her eye. And so, yeah, when you get the figure in hand, she can't hold her fucking sniper. Like, she can't look down the sights of it. It just wants to pop out of her hand. And I'm just like, are y'all fucking serious? Like, you couldn't have gotten a team to sit down and engineer this shit and be like, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't make the material out of hard fucking plastic for the vest and, for her, because this is her Strife skin where she has the helmet and she's in the blue kind of gear where it's like a kind of purple and blue gear, and she has the helmet underneath with the yellow on it, or I think it might have been yellow or it might be blue. But anyway, that look, they engineered the figures fucking poorly, because that Farah fucking sucks. Soldier 76 is better because he can at least hold his gun, but the what is it? The grenade launcher of the gun, or I guess the bottom portion of the barrel of the gun, is so fucking thick that his hands can't hold it with his other hand. And I was like, really? Again, he can't fucking hold this. Mercy, she could kind of hold her staff, but it just wanted to fall out of her hands. It just wanted to fall out of her hands. She could hold her gun. Ana could kind of hold her gun. And Pharaoh was okay. Pharaoh was okay. She was cool because she came with the effect pieces that plug into her back so that you can simulate her flying. So then, if you wanted to do her what is it called? Her attack where she puts her arms up near her shoulder and she flings them down, like just flings them down behind her back, and all of these missiles come flying out of her shoulder pads on her suit, or I guess on her armor. I think it's called the Hailstorm, I think is what it's called, or it might have been called something like that. But yeah, she can kind of do that, but, you know, those back effect pieces, when you put her on a stand, they make her heavy as fuck. And then the stand won't really want to hold her because, you know, her weight, it just shifts all the way down on that portion. And I'm just like, oh my fucking God, man, again. So, you know, that was one of the issues. One of the other issues was that you didn't get extra, essential extra accessories because, it would have been cool with Soldier 76 and Ana if they gave you the extra head. So then, even if it had the hood attached to the head, or, the head was inside the hood, kind of like what they did with the Into the Spider-Verse Gwen, where they gave you her unmasked head and then they gave you the head that's inside the inside the hood, so that you can pop the hood on and then pop the head on, and then it's two separate pieces, so you get more movement. So they could have just did that, and then we could have had Ana without the helmet. So if you don't like that skin, you could at least have her without her helmet, so you could actually see what Ana looks like. And then with Soldier 76, they could have given us a Jack Morrison head where it fits that Soldier 76 character, since this is an older Jack Morrison when Overwatch has, been, split apart and, basically been, what's it called? Disengaged, I guess, or basically shut down. This is like Jack Morrison, Vigilante, Soldier 76 after the fall of Overwatch. So he's older, he has the scar across his eye, he's scarred, he's a veteran, and he looks rough. So that would have been cool had we gotten an extra head and he would have had that on, and that would have been really cool. And then with Tracer, this was something I didn't understand why they didn't take this into consideration. So if you've seen any of the trailer, I guess not the trailers, the kind of cutscenes for the game or the shorts and stuff like that, where you've seen how Tracer moves, how Sombra moves, how the characters move, Hasbro didn't, whatever team was working on this line, they didn't take into consideration how are we going to engineer these characters so that they can move, so that the figures move just like they do in the game. No. What did they do? Their generic Hasbro bullshit where they have to give the female single jointed elbows because they just have to, because it's the Hasbro way. And it's like, fuck you, that's not how you need to be doing things, especially for a line like this, because you have characters that are seen doing specific things, and the fact that your figures, sorry, I just dropped something, the fact that your figures can't do this specific thing, your fucking figures fail. Okay, they fail. Because they don't capture the character correctly. So at least, and this is where I can give Jazzwares props, with their Fortnite Legendary series, all of the characters have the same articulation. And that even counts for the unique looking characters like Peely, like, what's his name? The P1000, which is like the Terminator version of Peely. The new Agent Peely that just came out, Meowscles that just came out. And then the female figures like the Ghoul Trooper and Val, which was their first female figure, they all have the same articulation. They have the toe joint, they have the double jointed elbows, bicep cut, hinges in the hands, they have some type of ab crunch, butterfly joints, the same movement that all the other characters have. And it's like, that's how a line is done. That's how a video game line is done. Because you have specific characters that you see do specific things in the game, their figures should be able to do the exact same thing. So I will give Jazzwares props to that. I love what they're doing with the Fortnite line, because they're giving us such unique looking characters, and you don't break the bank. And that's what the Overwatch line should have been. It should have been, $20 and you get a Tracer that moves exactly like Tracer moves in the game, how Sombra moves like Sombra moves in the game, like Diva, like Widowmaker, like Weeper, wow, like Reaper, like Reinhardt, like Genji, like Hanzo, like, Winston, Zarya, Mei, Mercy, Pharah, I can go on and on and on. Like, all those characters, their figures should have been, engineered so that they could all move the way that they should. And they weren't. Except for a few. But yeah, like, if I were in charge of the Overwatch line, Sombra and Tracer would have had double jointed elbows. They would have had butterfly joints in there. And Tracer would have had been like perfect. Because that's really all that Tracer needed, was double jointed elbows engineered correctly and butterfly joints, because she is a very agile character. Her special ability in the Overwatch universe is that she has chrono disassociation, which means that her body is not anchored to this reality. So her condition basically means that she's jumping in and out of reality itself, because her body isn't anchored anymore because of the chrono, because of the prototype jet that she flew. It had a I think it was a chrono something. Anyway, it was like some type of device that would allow the jet to kind of jump in and out of time and reality itself. And it basically malfunctioned, and the jet disappeared, as well as Tracer. And she wasn't seen for like a good 10 to 20 years. And they found her, and she was, jumping in and out of reality. And Winston built her a device called the Chrono Accelerator, which is that thing that she has on her chest. It's like a harness. And it basically allows her to jump forward in time and jump back in time. So it's kind of a cool power that she has. It just kind of sucks that that version of her just couldn't do, that exact thing, because, again, knowing how Hasbro is, they never want to try. They never want to try unless they know that they can make money off of the shit. That's why you see the distribution issues with the classified series, and they keep re-releasing all these different fucking Snake Eyes. Like, how many Snake Eyes do we have now? 3? We have 3 fucking Snake Eyes figures, and the line itself hasn't even been out for a year and a half already. And we already have 3 fucking Snake Eyes figures. We have one where the knife you couldn't pull the knife out of the sheath on the figure. And then you had, I'm sorry. We've had 4 fucking versions of Snake Eyes. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. I forgot about the HasCon exclusive Snake Eyes, which everyone got a hard dick over because it was the best fucking Snake Eyes because it came with all this shit and blah, 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 blah. And it came with all this shit. And yet sold out immediately, and then people who wanted it couldn't get it, and all this other bullshit. And there was that one. And then you got the single release, which had the knife issue. Then we just got another version of the same fucking figure that had the knife issue, but now you can actually pull the knife out and put it back in, and now we have this fucking Fortnite Snake Eyes, which is just a repaint of the previously mentioned 2 Snake Eyes figures, and it comes with Fortnite weapons, and they're selling that for $60 fucking dollars. Which is like, are y'all fucking serious right now? Like, and I've seen people already, they're like, oh man, I can't wait to get this Snake Eyes. And I'm like, guys, you're not helping the situation when you're over here, going, oh my god, I need this Snake Eyes. Like, it's a fucking repaint of a figure that you can get right now. What is the difference? What, that you get some gray on it? Some gray, just a little bit of gray. Like, if you really want that Snake Eyes, just go buy the $20 one, buy some paint, and paint the gray areas. And you essentially have the same fucking figure, it just doesn't have Fortnite weapons. Like, I don't get it. But anyway, yeah, you already know how Hasbro gives 0 fucks about that line too, because they're not even bothering to help the situation of distribution with the Revenge of Cobra Island exclusives, because people couldn't find the Beachhead, they couldn't find the Cobra Trooper, then they couldn't find the Cobra Vipers, then they couldn't find Firefly, and I have yet to see any of them. Not that I want any of them, because with G.I. Joe, it was always 3 3/4 inch with me, or 1/18 scale. But yeah, I don't give a fuck about that line. But what I'm trying to say is Hasbro doesn't give a fuck. If they know that they can make money off of something, they don't care about the fans. They don't care about us. They don't care about you guys. They just care about getting your money. Like, that has been a priority for them. So, yeah. And as fucked up as that sounds, it's true. But yeah, had Hasbro actually put the right fucking team in charge, yeah, we could have awesome figures. So yeah, the engineering was an issue, like the lack of accessories was an issue too, and then some of the accessories they came with were just fucking horrible. The effect piece for Gabriel Reyes' shotguns, the Hellfire shotguns that he comes with. The effect pieces were so fucking heavy that you can't even, you can't pose him without his arms wanting to fall down, because the effect pieces are so fucking heavy. And when I got Zarya, she has that same exact issue too. I want to say the only figures that don't have those issues are, let me see, I don't think Hanzo, I don't think, has that issue. I know Tracer, Sombra, I don't think Lucio had the issue. Ana and McCree didn't have those issues because they all had the smaller firearm effects, or the blast effects for the guns. So they weren't really that heavy. But everyone else that had either big weapons or something like that, the effects were too heavy. So instead of sculpting them out of a lighter plastic material like Figma does, they went with heavier, kind of softer, or kind of soft, kind of hard plastic. So yeah, they just kind of didn't work. And they would make your figures, their arms just kind of fall down because of all the weight. What else? The lack of characters. was something that I noticed immediately, because with Wave 1 we had gotten Tracer, right? Like I mentioned, we got Tracer, we got Tracer, we got Sombra, we got Lucio, and we got Gabriel Reyes, and then we also had gotten Lucio. And then with Wave 2, we got McCree, Tracer again, Lucio again, Zarya, and that was it. That was it. So there wasn't even a difference between the Tracer and I'm pretty sure Sombra got a re-release too. So you had 3 figures already from Wave 1 that got released again, which is why you can still go to GameStops now and see a shitload of Tracers and Lucios and Sombras, because they kept re-releasing the same damn figures in multiple waves. And I'm like, that's not how that works. Like, unless the Tracer is different, then I understand that. But if it's the same Tracer and there's no, retooling, no fix of the articulation or anything like that, then what is the fucking purpose of reusing the re-releasing the same fucking figure? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, not at all. Doesn't make any fucking sense as to why, why we're getting the same figure that I just got from the last wave. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I know damn well if you look at the entire fucking roster of Overwatch characters, both the heroes and villains, there are more characters than just Tracer, Sombra, and Lucio that you can be putting in lines. Like, you could have put a Doomfist in there, you could have given us an Ashe, you could have given us Mei, you could have given us Diva. And don't even get me started. I'm gonna get to that Diva figure. I'm gonna get to it. You could have given us, like, I don't know. You could have given us an actual fucking Reaper figure. You could have given us Symmetra. You could have given us who else? Bastion. You could have given us Bastion. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are so many characters they could have given us, but they didn't. Because they didn't fucking care. They didn't care. So, there was that issue. The McCree was probably the best figure out of that wave, as well as Zarya, even though you had to do the kind of fix with McCree's feet, where you had to kind of use a Dremel or a drill and drill up farther into the leg, so that he could actually get an ankle rocker and more movement in his legs, because he always kept falling down. So I had to do that. So that was an issue. And then there was a single release of Genji, but he was an Amazon exclusive. I was like, why? Why are we getting Amazon exclusives? Like, why is it the one fucking figure? Like, no, you put that figure in that line, and it was some different skin, even though you can put the two side by side and they look exactly the fucking same. So yeah, no Hasbro, no, that's not how that works. So you had those issues, right? And then with the 2-packs, you had Genji and Hanzo, which was an okay 2-pack. Then you had a McCree and Tracer 2-pack, which, doesn't sound too bad, right? Doesn't sound too bad. Except they were in fucking recolors. So Hasbro had already started doing recolors and repaints of these figures, even though we haven't even gotten 2 waves in, and they're already starting to do their usual bullshit with recolored figures and re-releasing them. So you had that issue. And then, I'm sorry. Sombra wasn't in Wave 2. It was Junkrat. He was in Wave 2. And I think those were the only 2-packs that I saw. And then, if you go back a little bit on my channel, you'll see that I did a video on this pack. For the Overwatch anniversary, instead of doing something special, Hasbro decided to take the fucking lazy route again, and give us a fucking 5-pack, or I think it was a 4-pack. It was either a 4-pack or a 5-pack. It was a 4-pack, and make it a GameStop exclusive and charge $70 or $80 fucking dollars for this pack. And it was essentially a repainted Genji, a repainted Sombra, or a repainted Zarya, a repainted Pharah, and Diva. So the first time you released Diva, you put her in a fucking 4-pack in this ugly ass. These were like the carbon skins, which I had never even heard of these skins before. And apparently they're the most popular skins, but I've never fucking heard of them. And so, yeah, it was like Diva in like black and pink. Genji was in like black and blue. Zarya was in like black and yellow. And Pharah was in, I think, black and red. And I was like, what? Like, what is this? And they did Diva so fucking dirty in that 4-pack. They gave her like this gigantic fucking head. They didn't give her a neck. I was just like, ugh, this figure's fucking terrible. Looks terrible, awful. And then that was it. And then they canned the line after that. And I was like, guys, are y'all fucking serious right now? Like, y'all are serious. Oh, I'm sorry. And then they put out Reinhardt, which was actually one of the last great fucking figures they actually put out. He was $50, but I got him for $7 fucking dollars off of GameStop's website. They had like this gigantic like sale, I think sometime in the summer, and he was like $7, and I immediately jumped on him because, yeah, this is the only time we've ever gotten a Reinhardt figure. Figma hasn't done him yet, and if they do, you know he's going to be like $100 and something. And so, yeah, I immediately jumped on him because, yeah, I needed him. And then they went and they did an SDCC exclusive of him in this like camo color, and they gave him an alternative head. They gave him an unhelmeted fucking head, and it was with this SDCC exclusive. I was like, guys, what are y'all doing? This is not how you do this fucking line. You're not doing these characters justice. Like, I don't understand this shit at all. And so that's why I think that this line was the biggest fuck up, because whoever was put in charge of this line didn't give a fuck. And it's sad because you have the team that's working on the Transformers stuff. They are absolutely killing the shit. Killing it, man. I mean, I have the Earthrise RC and the Bumblebee. I recently got last year. I got, or no, I think I got this year. It might have been this year or last year. I got the War for Cybertron, or the Siege Shockwave. And then I think it was the year before, I think in 2019. Yeah, 2019 is when I got the Siege Soundwave, which Soundwave and Shockwave are two of my favorite Decepticons. And I was like, holy shit, I got Shockwave for like $12, I think. And Soundwave, I think, was like 30 or something like that. And then he had the 2-pack, or there was a 2-pack he had to buy for like $10 that came with Ravage and Laserbeak. But I was really impressed with the Shockwave because he came with that huge fucking thing, that big backpack with all the different parts and the different arms and shit. But if you take all that off, like, it is essentially like an upgraded G1 Shockwave. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. He's got the fucking backpack, he's got the little plug, he's got the little laser arm, the little cannon on his arm, and he even has light piping in his head. And I was like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. This is just great. Like, like, I've never been happier. And I'm not a huge Transformers person. Like, I'll only buy characters that I like. But I was really impressed with RC when I got her. I was really impressed with what they did with her. And then Bumblebee, I was like, holy shit, they made him the little Volkswagen Bug. I was like, this is awesome, because this is, when I think of Bumblebee, I think of the little Volkswagen Bug. The little yellow Volkswagen Bug with the black trim. And I was like, that is awesome. And he's really, really tiny too, so he's like the right size. When you put him with everyone else, he scales just right. And I'm like, that's fantastic. I'm like, oh man, this is so good. So yeah, and then like the distribution and all that stuff with the Transformers stuff is just, it's great. Like, I have to give whoever's working on the Transformers team props, because they are getting shit done, and they're making everyone really happy, which I appreciate, and they're doing the characters justice, which I'm also happy about. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, I think that is, yeah, where they fucked up, because, I mean, this line should have been continued. Like, had this been done right, we could have gotten that with Series 1, we could have gotten Tracer, Sombra, Lucio, and the Blackwatch Reyes, but you engineer them right, you give them the butterfly joints, and you give them all that good stuff, the good articulation, double jointed elbows, butterfly joints for the characters that need it, especially Tracer and Sombra. I don't give a fuck if they're female figures, you give them double jointed elbows. Like, I'm tired of it when I'm buying figures and you give all the guys double jointed elbows, but you completely fuck us over with the female characters. I'm done with that shit. So you give them double jointed elbows, you give them the butterfly joint, and you engineer it right. And you give us double jointed knees, and you give us all of that. Oh my god. See, I'm getting on a fucking rant here, and I'm out here fucking up. But you give us the right accessories, and you give us effect pieces that don't weigh a fucking ton for the figures, so that they can actually get them posed up with the accessories. And then you give them the right hands, which they did give some of them the right hands. But yeah, it just wasn't all the hands that they needed. You know what I mean? And when you do characters like Sombra and you do characters like Reaper, you give us materials that are pliable enough and work with the articulation, because that was a huge issue with Sombra. And that's why I'm hoping that Figma does a Sombra figure, because they fucked up really bad. They gave us like hard rubber for her gear that she wears, like that kind of it's not a dress, but it whatever it is, that jacket that she has, because it's just hard rubber, and then when you try to move her around, she can't really pose right. So yeah, it's just bad. And then they missed certain paid apps with certain characters like Sombra. When you look at her actual character, she has all these different, like, you have silver and purple and pink and all this shit going on with her gloves, because she had augmentations done. She was I can't remember her name right now, like her real name, but she was a real person, and she was a hacker, and she had gotten discovered and exposed, and so she went dark. She went under a new name. She had gotten cybernetic augmentations so that she could actually hack with her hands. So she has cybernetic augmentations on her hands. So she has all these robotic tech pieces on her hands, on her fingers, so that she's able to actually, pull shit up with her hands and hack into stuff and do that stuff. And they didn't even bother to paint all that stuff. I had to go in and paint it because I wanted her to have that detail, because I love Sombra. As a villain, I love her. So yeah. Like, it's just that would have been it for wave 1. Wave 2, I would have did McCree. I would have did McCree Genji. Would have given us a villain Reaper, and I would have done Widowmaker. I would have done Widowmaker, or even do Junkrat. And then, if you wanted to do a big figure for each wave, you do Reinhardt for Series 1, you do Roadhog, or fuck that, you do Roadhog for Wave 2, so then all you have to do is just buy Junkrat, you buy the Roadhog, boom, you have the pair right there. Wave 3, you do Winston for the big figure, and then for Wave 3, you do Doomfist, you do Widowmaker, you can do Hanzo, and you can do Soldier 76 if you want to. And then, for 2-packs, you can do, a before and after 2-pack if you wanted to, instead of doing the single cards. So, say you wanted, Blackwatch, Gabriel Reyes before he became evil, and then after he became evil, you do the 2-pack there. Jack Morrison, you do Jack Morrison Blackwatch, you do Soldier 76. You do Ana Blackwatch, you do Ana Overwatch, Ana. You do McCree, you do Blackwatch McCree, you do after Blackwatch McCree. And then, if you wanted regular 2-packs, you do Ash and Bob. You can do Genji and Hanzo. So if you wanted both of them, and then, maybe with that pack, you get the version of Genji where his mask is off and you can see what he looks like underneath, because, he is, a cyborg, but he also has human parts to him. Like, he has a real human face and all that stuff. And it's all fucked up and it's all scarred and all that stuff. So you can do that, or you can even do Blackwatch Genji, and you can do Overwatch Genji if you wanted to. And then for the bigger things that needed to be made, Diva and her mecha. That was one of the things that Zorpox was asking for, that I was asking for, that Strident was asking for. Because with Figma, we've gotten Diva, but we have not gotten her mecha. We have not gotten her mecha. We haven't even gotten a third-party mecha. Nothing. So we have nothing for our Diva to pilot. Had Hasbro done it right, they could have did a Diva with her mecha, could have paid like $40, and it could have been really articulated. It could have had ball joints in the legs, could have ball joints in the arms, could have had a hatch in the back where you can plug her in, and then if they wanted to put like an action feature in it, you could have had it where, she can actually pop out of the top of the mech, out of the top of the mecha, like she does in the game, like for her highlight of the game, or the player of the game, whatever it's called, where she, like, her animation is she pops out of the mech and she does her little twirl and she has her gun and she's got her little winky face. Like, that would have been cool as fuck had they done that. They could have given us Wrecking Ball. That would have been such an awesome fucking figure. You know what I mean? Like, right there, I'm just giving you ideas on how the fuck to do this. And then, you know what I mean? You cover everyone for that wave, and then Overwatch 2 comes out. You wait till Overwatch 2 comes out, and then you do the Overwatch 2 designs. You do the updated Tracer design, updated Genji design, updated Mercy design, updated Mei design, updated Winston, updated Reinhardt. You do Brigitte, you do Torbjorn, you do all those fucking characters, but you do their Overwatch 2 designs. And that's it. Like, that's all Hasbro had to do, was just that. That's all Hasbro had to do. Like, if I can come up with this shit and give you ideas on how the fuck to do a line, then that's it. That's That's it. Like, it is that easy to do. But yet, for some reason, it's so hard for Hasbro to do this shit as a line. So, I'm hoping that, and Andy and I talked about this, and what we came up with on the podcast, and I don't know what episode it was, it might have been the one we recorded last week, or it might have been the one before that, but basically what we had said was that had Hasbro dropped the license, we wanted Jazzwares to take over, because Jazzwares knows what the fuck they're doing. I mean, they're killing it in the 118 scale game and the 112 scale figures. Because you have the AEW figures, which are such good fucking figures. They put the Mattel wrestling figures to shame. I just wish they would fix their damn distribution issues. My God. If they get that shit fixed, it's done. It's a done deal. Like, right now, Mattel is digging their fucking grave so damn deep, it is unbelievable with the wrestling stuff. And Jazzwares is just killing it. Each wave, they're killing it. They're improving on stuff with the figures. They're fixing things. They're giving us new gear. They're giving us new characters. They're giving us variety. They're giving us really cool exclusives. It's just, they're doing such a good fucking job. And going to the 112 scale Fortnite stuff, they're giving us unique designs. Everyone has the same articulation. Everyone comes with unique accessories to them. And it works out. 118 scale, same thing. Everyone comes with unique accessories. Everyone has unique designs. And everyone has the same articulation. And even better articulation than the G.I. Joes ever could have had. So, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong for saying that Jazzwares should get the license after Hasbro lets it go, if they decide to let it go? I don't know. But if I were Blizzard, I would say fuck you, Hasbro, and I would give the license to Jazzwares. Or better yet, an alternative. Here's an alternative. For the import stuff, if, say, Figma loses a license to Overwatch, I'd say give the license to Revamp, because Revamp has been putting out some solid fucking figures. Their All Might figure is fantastic. The Revamp Deku that I reviewed was fucking amazing. I have Bakugo on pre-order. The Revamp Harley is really, really, really well done. It's just, the figures, they've gotten so much better since they first started out, where they had those ugly ass, those big ugly ass Revoltech joints, like on some of the legacy of Revoltech figures, like the Yoko. Oh, they did Yoko so bad. Oh, they did Yoko so bad. Oh, you give her, that build that she has with the Tiggle Bitties and those cakes, and then you go to move her, and those big ass joints fuck up, her sculpt. And I'm like, no, that's not how it's done. And then they started doing the amazing Yamaguchi stuff, and at first they made the joints too damn big, and so when you posed them, they didn't look right, standing straight up. And then they started getting better and better, and started moving around and changing out some of the joint systems. And so now they look really cool. They look really good standing still, and whenever you want to get them in different poses, they look really good. And so I would say that, Revoltech should get the import license. Could they keep it down to $60? I sure the fuck hope so, because if they kept it at $60 for all the figures, it would be great. Like, could you imagine a Revoltech Tracer? That would be the fucking shit. That figure would be the shit. It would be the most posable Tracer in the game. Like, it would be fucking great. They would give her guns. They would give her the effects that she would need. They would give her the different face plates. They would give her a shitload of hands, like, and they would give her the firing effect for her pistols. That'd be fucking amazing. If they did a Genji, they would give him the swords, and everything would be like really, really posable, and everything would be smooth like butter, and it would just look so fucking good. It would look so good. But has you thinking, right? Has you thinking. And that's what I kind of wanted this little sit down to be. I wanted it to be kind of thinking. I was trying to aim for this to be an hour, but you know what? Fuck it. We can end it right here because I feel like I've made my point clear. So yeah, hopefully this discussion here has you thinking on whether or not this line was Hasbro's biggest fuck up, because this was such a missed opportunity as to what it could have been. This line could have been something. Like, this could have been the competitor to Jazzware's Fortnite figures. But alas, Hasbro didn't give a fuck, apparently. They didn't give a fuck. So, But, anyway, I'm going to end this one here. Hopefully you guys enjoy these. We'll see how this one does, and if the feedback is, if everyone was kind of feeling what I was saying, then I'll keep doing more of these, because trust me, there's a lot of shit that I could go on and on about just like this, that I can get off my plate when it comes to this hobby that I enjoy, even though it has its fucking pains sometimes trying to find things, because either scalpers are on it, like flies on shit, or people are just buying it up because, or companies aren't distributing shit better than they could. You know what I mean? So anyway, like I said, that's going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little sit down, and we'll just we'll end it here. So with that being said, thank you again for all the support. We have hit 161 subscribers, I think, at this time. So thank you very much for all the support. I never would have thought that this channel would have got past 100, or I never would have thought it would have got past like 50, let alone 100, let alone 160. So yeah, thank you very much. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, that's pretty much, gonna do it here. I got more content coming up pretty soon. I just did 2 reviews, 2 1/18 scale reviews, one on the Fortnite Solo Series Scratch, and the 2-pack review of the Chief Bruton and Master Chief 2-pack. And then I also have my AEW Series 2 overview up that you can go check out now. So anyway, with that being said, Action Figure Addict 112 out.